These are moments where the entity doesn't just make its presence known, it strikes. In haunted hallways, cursed apartments, and shadowy woods, people have faced forces that defy explanation. So what do you think attacked them? Keep watching and decide for yourself. That night turned into a complete nightmare for this girl. In the middle of the night, while she was asleep, some unseen force did this to her. Curious and terrified, she checked the CCTV footage of her room. In the video, she could see the door open by itself and a shadowy, human-shaped figure inside. It was clear that this figure was the one who dragged her. But the chilling question remained, was this just a one-time event, or the beginning of something much bigger? Kitchen horror. This woman had just shifted into her new apartment, but had no idea of the presence waiting for her there. Until one night, an unseen force grabbed her and dragged her backward, shaken by the spooky experience. She got up quickly, trying to find the culprit, but no one was there. Though it happened for the first time, the girl took this incident as a hint and sold her apartment immediately. Pulled by unknown. Two friends were standing outside a pub when one of them was attacked by an otherworldly entity, though nothing could be seen due to the darkness. The footage made it clear how strong the pull was. The two tried their best to get rid of it, but eventually one of them got carried away, and that was the last time he was ever seen. Although it happened somewhere near Russia, we can assume he became part of some secret experiment. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Garage nightmare. A woman was in her garage looking through old boxes when something happened that felt like a nightmare. Suddenly, an unseen force grabbed her leg and dragged her across the floor, pulling her outside. She fought back with everything in her and finally escaped the grip. The video has been around for quite some time, but still the mysterious force that caused this remains a mystery. Haunted shift. This waiter went through what nobody should when he was ending his shift. There was no one around, yet he felt an insane force surrounding him. Alone and deeply unsettled by the encounter, he decided to leave immediately. And yes, it was probably one of the most sensible decisions he made. Shop mystery. This guy was working at his shop when something unusual happened. He suddenly felt a gentle but strong pull on his hoodie, but when he turned around, he found no one. Out of curiosity, he checked the CCTV footage and was stunned when he saw that it was not at all his imagination, but there really was something around him. And don't we all know what it was? Mysterious school. This boy became the target of an unseen entity. It was as if something in the school, invisible to everyone else, had targeted him. No one knew what was happening until the incident unfolded right before their eyes. Even now, what could have caused it, or how to prevent it, remains a mystery. Angry presence. A guy was casually playing a game on his PC when he came under the influence of a ghostly spirit. He struggled hard and barely managed to free himself, but the moment he thought it was over, the entire room came alive. Papers flew across the air, chairs slid on their own, and the desk rattled violently, as if some powerful entity was furious. That was his cue to leave, and he didn't miss it. Unseen presence. The guy bought the house at the cheapest rate, and he is about to find out why. He was recording his workout when the door opened on its own. Moments later, a pumpkin on the table suddenly fell to the floor. By then, he knew something unusual was happening. Before he could decide what to do next, another object fell from the shelf behind him. It all happened so fast that he didn't have time to think, and he immediately ran outside. And I believe he won't be staying there for too long. Paranormal cafeteria. Within just a few seconds, everything in this hotel cafeteria turned chaotic, especially for one woman. It all started when her chair suddenly moved on its own, making her freeze in fear. But that was just the beginning. Tables, chairs, and everything around her began shifting and crashing, as if controlled by some invisible force. The scene became total chaos, and the woman fainted in terror. Since then, the cafeteria has been closed, leaving everyone wondering what mysterious force caused this frightening event. Unseen warning. This man thought he could fix the strange activity in his house by sprinkling salt on the walls, but things went the opposite way. At first, the wall cross moved slightly. He didn't even notice. Then came a bigger sign when the cabinets opened on their own. Still, he didn't leave. But the final straw was when the baby chair suddenly fell to the floor. That was enough for him to realize his little experiment had failed, and leaving immediately was the smartest choice. Terrifying signs. A peaceful moment for this mother and her children suddenly turned spooky when the baby's feeder fell off the chair on its own. Shocked, the woman quickly picked up her baby and stepped outside to check. But her elder son was about to witness something even scarier. Just as he tried to leave, the door slammed shut by itself, leaving him terrified. Luckily, their mother came back inside, and for a while things seemed normal again. But was this really a one-time incident? Hard to say. Unforgettable ride. This Uber ride became unforgettable for the driver because the passenger was no ordinary guy. Suddenly, the man let out a scream so chilling that it was clear he wasn't normal. The driver immediately pulled over and asked him to get out.
This ride's over! Get out!
Looking back, it was probably the safest call. Who would want to have someone like that in their car? Something about this passenger was just off.
What's wrong with you?
Dude, you don't even know what I've been going through.
Vanished cop. This may look like a scene from a science fiction movie, but it's real. Back in 2012, in a small town in Mexico, a cop pulled over a car for a routine check. Everything seemed normal, until suddenly, a bright light appeared over the officer. Within moments, the light vanished, and so did the cop, as if some kind of abduction had taken place. The man inside the car was so terrified that he sped away immediately. To this day, no one knows who or what made that officer disappear. Demonic control. While cleaning the pool, this guy had no idea what was about to happen. Out of nowhere, a dark demonic figure appeared and suddenly took control of his entire body. For a few seconds, he stood there frozen, but it quickly became clear that the entity had completely taken over. His body began to shake, and the scene turned frightening. His daughter rushed forward to help, but everything was out of control. In the end, it seemed only his own willpower saved him from being lost completely. Haunted patrol. During a quiet midnight shift, a cop suddenly heard strange noises echoing around him. When he went to check, something or someone made sure he didn't come back the same. Even after several attempts to break free, the cop failed and eventually had to call for backup to rescue him. The area remained under surveillance for quite some time, but the authorities couldn't find anything there. Maybe it was just the cop the entity had a problem with, or do you have a better explanation? Farm mystery. This woman was casually enjoying time with her dog at the farm when suddenly something unusual happened that made her leave right away. Out of nowhere, she felt her hair being pulled strongly, even though no one else was around. Shocked and confused, she later reviewed the CCTV footage, hoping to find some clue, but nothing showed up. Still, It was enough for her to realize that whatever was present there definitely wasn't normal. Hallway encounter. In Colorado, there's a hotel hallway that no guest is allowed to enter anymore. Why? Because of a strange incident recorded there. A man was making his way back to his room when, out of nowhere, a dark entity appeared. Before he could react, it grabbed him and tried to drag him away. Somehow, he managed to break free and escape down the corridor. His immediate complaint to the authorities led to the area being sealed off, and who knows what might be living there now. Paranormal house. When strange noises surrounded the house in the middle of the night, the husband decided to check for any intruders. He was halfway through when he found his answer, but dared to stay for a bit longer until things began moving on their own. That's when he realized something paranormal was happening in the house. The lights then went out, making it all look like a classic horror setup. Eventually, everything returned to normal, but deciding whether to stay in that house remained a very tough call for them. Shadow strike. A CCTV footage shared online by an unknown source left everyone puzzled. In it, a boy was walking across the ground when suddenly a dark shadow struck him. The boy had no idea what had just happened. Online viewers, however, had plenty of opinions. Some believed it was a dark force that had attacked him, while others thought it might have been a malevolent ghost. Graveyard spirits.
Look, they're leaving.
Going to a graveyard in the middle of the night is a daring act, and one YouTuber decided to try it. At first, he saw a shadowy figure, looking almost like a human spirit, and it immediately changed his beliefs about the supernatural. Slowly, one after another, more figures appeared, all around the graveyard.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He watched them secretly, observing everything without being noticed, but then realizing that things were getting too intense, and he could be the next target. He quickly left. Mysterious shadow. A boy had just stepped out after a shower when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, he felt a strong force pulling him back. He couldn't spot anything at that moment, but knew something was off. Later, when he reviewed the footage, he noticed an eerie shadow appearing on the wall. It appeared as a human shadow, but the crazy amount of force it had left a haunting impression on the guy. Woods encounter. The boy was headed home when he was attacked by a black shadow. I've watched this video quite a few times, and it only gets creepier each time. But thankfully, the boy made it out alive and safe. There are spirits in the woods, but no one thought one would be caught like this. Paranormal apartment. Let's head to Russia for this next story, where a guy had some very unusual experiences in his apartment. Sometimes it was just strange noises, other times objects moved on their own. Eventually, he had enough and decided to leave. But before going, he placed a camera on the table to capture proof. What it recorded was chilling. Chairs moving, doors opening, and things falling from shelves. And in the final moments, a pair of legs appeared, revealing the entity was not just a shadow, but something human-like that wanted him out.
Ну что могу сказать? Это был последний день, поэтому мы уже... Блядь! Это можно вообще...
River monster. I'm not sure why this guy went to the river in the middle of the night, but what happened there made sure he never attempted such a thing again.
Amor!
He was about to come back when a strange, unidentified figure tried to pull him into the river. What turned out to be lucky for him were the candles he had lit along the riverbank. Using their light, he managed to push the figure away and escape safely. Still, it was strange. Whatever came out of the river seemed to be afraid of the candles. Maybe it was one of those Greek mythological figures whose existence is threatened by fire.
Amor!
creeping presence. Exploring a haunted house is always risky, and one guy decided to do just that. Before heading in, he set up a camera to record everything. As he made his way upstairs, a shadowy figure began following him. Then, a door creaked open slightly, revealing a terrifying face that seemed to be watching from within. The guy didn't realize what had really happened until he reviewed the footage later. After seeing it, he knew one thing for sure. He probably should never return to that house again. Ghostly conversation. A night duty quickly turned into a chilling experience for a security guard. While on his shift, he was seen talking to someone, but the hall was empty. When asked who he had been speaking to, he said it was an old lady, but after he was shown the footage, he realized he had been visited by a ghost who, according to him, introduced himself as a tenant. So could it really have been a ghost, or a free spirit from another world that came only to terrorize the man? Haunted farm. A group of YouTubers decided to explore an abandoned farmhouse. The moment they stepped inside, the atmosphere felt eerie and unsettling. Suddenly, one of their friends felt something, and it was all caught on camera. It became clear that some strange entity was present in the farmhouse. Realizing how unsafe it was, the group decided it was best not to stay any longer and quickly left the area. Inner demon. This guy's inner demon grew stronger and eventually protected him from an attacker. It was late at night when a person began following her. He looked like a robber, but was extremely aggressive when came for him. That's when a shadowy figure emerged from inside him and fought for his life. Just the sight of this entity was enough to turn the tables and make the threatening man retreat. Last moment rescue. This footage shared online has left viewers stunned. In it, a woman is casually crossing the road, unaware that a speeding car is about to hit her. Just as the danger strikes, a mysterious human-like figure appears and, in the blink of an eye, transfers her safely to the other side. People online are divided. Some believe it was a guardian angel, while others say it might have been a superhuman protector. Cursed doll. A man ordered a doll from the dark web, which seemed normal at first, but soon he noticed something strange. Wherever he went, the doll's head would move, following him with its gaze. He turned on the room lights, touching the doll, trying to convince himself it was just his imagination. Then, without warning, some files on the nearby table suddenly toppled over on their own. That's when he realized for sure. This doll was far from normal, and something powerful was inside it, fully aware of him. Blink disappearance. A man shared CCTV footage on social media, showing him sitting by the pool with his wife. The entire mood changed in a blink when she vanished. Nothing unusual seemed around, yet she was gone in an instant. People online reacted with mixed opinions. Some believed it was an alien abduction, while others thought a mysterious, unseen entity had taken her. No one could explain what really happened, and the footage left everyone puzzled. Shadowy figure. After watching this, even your own shadow might start to feel mysterious. In this video, an Indonesian guy is seen walking casually, but his shadow doesn't look normal. Instead, it seems to have its own separate identity. Now, it could be that this really was his demonic shadow, or maybe it was something else entirely, a shadowy figure just following him around. Even the thought of it is unsettling. What do you think about it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Healing light. The woman was all alone when she breathed her last, so the family wanted to see the mother one last time and asked for the hospital staff to share the footage. And this is what it captured. There was what seemed like an angel's hand, and the woman noticed it too. Still in shock, the family uploaded the video and asked online viewers for an explanation. A majority agreed that it was the Angel of Passing, a benevolent one indeed. Mysterious rescuer. Superhuman or guardian angel? You guys decide after watching this. A woman was crossing the road with her baby, completely unaware of a speeding car coming straight toward them. Just when it looked like a collision was guaranteed, something unbelievable happened. Out of nowhere, a strange humanoid figure appeared in a flash, grabbed them, and instantly moved them to the opposite side of the road. Within seconds, it disappeared again. Whatever it was, its timely appearance saved both lives. Angelic rescue. Another day, another guardian angel saving the people. This guy was crossing the road, completely unaware that a car was speeding right past him. Just when it seemed like a collision was inevitable, something happened that you might be expecting. Yes, a guardian presence suddenly appeared. But this time, it wasn't a normal human-like figure. Instead, it was a bright, angelic light lifted him safely to the other side of the road. It looked like a real angel had come down just to protect him in the most miraculous way. Creepy presence. These girls were casually playing cards in their new house when suddenly one of them was pulled by an unseen force. Seeing this, the others ran away in sheer terror, completely shaken. Seconds later, the girl returned, walking in a strange, almost creepy way. But no one was there to help her. It quickly became clear that something else was in the house, something that did not like their presence and was silently watching. Unseen shift. After what happened to this woman, night shift suddenly became anything but easy. Out of nowhere, her chair slid across the floor, dragged as if by some unseen hand. But when she looked around, no one was there. Anyone in her shoes would have struggled to focus, especially when working alone, knowing something unexplainable had just happened right beside them. Mysterious push. In a town in Peru, something strange happened. On what seemed like a normal day, a woman was casually walking along the roadside when she was pushed from the side. Onlookers were stunned. There wasn't anyone who could have done it. What really caused this remains a mystery, leaving everyone puzzled. Nightmare shift. Late one night in a Romania office, a woman was working late at night. She was engrossed in the system when a strange entity possessed her. She began acting strangely, clearly under some great demonic influence. It dragged her around in a terrifying way. Though it lasted only a short moment, it left a lasting impression on her. Life-saving tap. Another mysterious protector case has surfaced, this one from Turkey. In the footage, a man is seen casually walking by the roadside when suddenly someone taps him on the shoulder from behind, as if to make him turn around. And you guys won't believe this. The very moment he looks back, a truck passes by and a heavy metallic rod falls exactly where he had been walking. If he hadn't turned, things could have gone horribly wrong. Whoever tapped him wasn't just a random passerby. It felt more like a guardian sent to save him. Supermarket terror. A normal day at the supermarket turned terrifying when a man suddenly started acting strange. At first, it seemed unusual, but soon it became clear something far worse was happening. He had completely lost control of his own body. Nothing he did was under his command, and the chaos grew so intense that no one could get close. Witnesses were frozen in fear as the scene unfolded. That single moment changed his life forever. Church miracle. In a local church in Romania, a security guard noticed a strange light inside. When he went in to check, he was stunned. It wasn't just any light, but a mysterious, glowing figure, moving as if searching for something. It was clear this wasn't a normal presence. It had an angelic aura. When he shared what he saw with the church staff, everyone believed they had been blessed by an actual angelic presence. Creepy doll. This little girl's tea party with her doll suddenly became a little too real. At first, she was casually recording the moment and enjoying her playtime when she thought the doll had slightly moved. She ignored it at first, but a few moments later, the doll clearly shifted again, and this time there was no way to explain it away. She immediately ran from the room. Just like that, her fun tea party turned into something unforgettable. Peru abduction. One after another, strange cases of abduction keep surfacing, and this one comes from Peru. Two friends were going home late at night, but then, out of nowhere, something shocking happened. In the blink of an eye, one of them completely disappeared, vanished without a trace. His friend stood frozen for a moment, unable to process what he had just seen. But fear quickly took over, and he ran from the spot, terrified that the same thing could happen to him next. Terrifying pull. These sisters were sitting late at night, enjoying themselves and laughing, when everything suddenly changed. One of them felt her hair being pulled, yet no one was around.
Something just took my hair.
They were still trying to make sense of it when the same thing happened to the other sister. At that moment, they knew something unseen was after them. Without wasting a second, both ran out, leaving the night behind that had quickly turned from fun to fear.
I'm not joking, something just took my hair.
What do you mean something took your
I don't know.
Something
Let me out! I'm coming out!
Endless elevator. Now this video is one of those mysteries that was never solved. A woman enters an elevator expecting a normal ride, but instead the lift keeps going down, floor after floor, far beyond the 10 floors the building actually had. More than 30 floors passed, and the woman stood inside, panicking and waiting for it to stop. But the worst part came when the elevator finally opened, not to a hallway, but to complete darkness. Her biggest mistake was stepping out. The doors immediately closed, the lift returned, and the woman was never seen again. Levitating cars. Next, we head to China, where a strange incident shocked everyone on a busy road. Out of nowhere, several cars started levitating in midair right in front of onlookers. And these weren't lightweight objects. They were full-sized cars, floating as if controlled by some invisible force. No one could figure out why or how this was happening. People were stunned, struggling to believe their own eyes. Could some mysterious power have been at work, easily bending reality and controlling everything around them? And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This video is from Romania, where on a bright sunny day, everything looked normal. But as this woman was about to cross the road, something unexpected happened. She suddenly levitated a few feet away, as if pushed by a strong wind. But there was no wind, nothing around her, and no one close enough to cause it. It was clear that some unseen forces were at play, creating moments that humans simply cannot control or explain. So that was all from today's video. If you found anything interesting, don't forget to mention it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.